Okay. Hey, Robbie. Good morning, Robbie. All right, you guys, we're going to start on our backs this morning, and we're formatting just a little bit different. So it's going to be a lot of ab work this morning. So hopefully you love me tomorrow after all of this. But we're going to start with some windshield wipers just to get everything warmed up. We've got 3 minutes of a warm up, and then we're going to move right into some sets. So just step your feet nice and wide towards the outer edges of your mat to a comfortable distance that works for you. And then start to drop your knees side to side. If your back and your shoulders wants a little extra, bring your arms into goalpost position, and you can also turn your head side to side. So you're just going to find a little movement out of the hips, a little movement out of the hip flexors and the psoas. So those muscles deep in the low belly system. And then we're just going to get the spine kind of on board. Central nervous system working for us. Got about 25 seconds left here. All right, 10 seconds left. And time, nice. Okay, so walk your feet a little closer, feet about hip width distance apart, heels nice and close to the butt. We're taking it right into some hip bridges, but take them into sort of a rolling hip bridge. So think about curling the tailbone up, just kind of smoothing through the spine and then rolling right back down with a little bit of control. Start to find a little control in the tops of the thighs, a little bit of an engagement in the abdominal muscles, and then just a nice soothing roll down as your hips find the ground. Curl the tailbone up, roll on up through the spine, and then roll back down. So think upper back, middle back, low back, hips touch the ground. You're already halfway there. Just to start to find a pace and a rhythm that feels good, and still think of this as we've got 2 more minutes of warm up here. So this is minute number 2. You got 20 seconds left. All right, now the next time your hips lift up, keep them lifted just for a second. And now you're going to tuck your hands underneath your butt, lower your butt onto your hands. So your hands are going to give a little cushion, and then you're going to pick your knees up, float your heels up towards the ceiling, and we're going to just start to lift and lower the legs. You're going to keep it at about a 45-degree angle to start. So you're not going extreme, and you're not taking the heels all the way down to the ground right away. And you're just going to start to find some engagement in your abdominal muscles. So a little life out through your toes. So you're not having little soft spaghetti feet, right? Just a little bit of energy through the legs, and then start to work into the core. But think of this as a warm up. So it doesn't need to be an extreme movement here. You don't need to bring it all the way down to the ground, but just to the point where you feel your abdominal muscles kick on, and then pull them right back up. And then just give this as an opportunity to check in with your back. Notice how your back feels. Notice how your shoulders and belly feel. And might even notice how your hip flexor muscles feel. In our set number 2, we are going to work into the hip flexors a little bit. So just make sure everything's feeling good. And time, nicely done. Okay, release your hands from underneath your butt. Bend your left foot, set it down. Keep your right leg straight. We're going to work on that right leg for 1 minute. Here we go. We're just going to lift and lower the leg. You're going to keep your arms nice and pinned down to the ground. So you're going to try and keep everything else as stationary as you can, finding that nice little hinge right out of the hip, energy out through the toe, and you're just lifting the leg up and lowering it down. Finding a rhythm that works for you. So how this is going to work this morning, we're going to cover the right leg, the left leg. We're going to do a 3rd set of work, and then we're going to repeat that, and then we'll move on to a new set. You're already halfway there on this leg. Nice. And then as you start to work here, if you've got that rhythm down, tune into your hip points and just make sure that they're not rocking all over the place. You should be keeping your hips nice and evenly weighted on the ground. And if you like to find that work, you can always take your right hand right to the inside of that bony protrusion and find that nice little space where the abdominal muscles and the psoas muscles are helping this leg lift and lower. We've got 2 seconds left. Nicely done. Bend that knee, set it down, and right away we take it to the other side. Left leg up to the ceiling, a little point in the toes, arms pinned down at your sides, and we lift and lower that leg. A little bit of an anchor into the right leg so that right foot is pressing firmly into the ground, and a little anchor in the hips. The hips are staying nice and solid on the ground and not wobbling all over the place. And if it helps you to find that anchor, think about pressing also into the backs of your arms so your shoulders are anchored as well. And if you like working with the breath, if you like finding that breath connection here, you're going to inhale when it's soft and exhale on your effort. So you might want to exhale as you're lifting your leg back up. We got 15 seconds left on this leg. And time, nicely done. Okay, bend both knees and we're taking it right into full body crunches. So hands behind the head. We're gonna pull the elbows and knees in towards each other, give a little squeeze, and then lengthen out to a distance that feels right to you. You can either just take the legs back into a tabletop position or stretch them out long if that feels better, but we're pulling both knees and elbows in and then stretching away. Pulling in and squeeze and then stretch away. Find your rhythm, find your pace. Think about pulling your abdominal muscles down towards the spine as you pull the elbows and knees in towards each other. And then think about using your exhale for your effort. So exhale as you squeeze everything in. Nice, you guys. That looks amazing. Beautiful work. And time, nicely done. Set your left foot down, right leg's going right up, back up to the ceiling, and we're repeating that set. So a little life into the toe, anchor into your arms, lift and lower at a pace that feels right to you. Keep the hip bones stable, keep your shoulders anchored into the ground. And then if you like working with the breath, tune into your breath. Inhale to lower the leg and exhale to bring it back up. And then see if you can just try to keep that leg hovering over the ground. So once you reach down long to the end of your mat, the heel stays hovered off the mat. Beautiful, you guys. Nice stability. No rocking or anything. That's nice. 25 seconds left on this leg. And if it helps you find that extra stability, think about pulling your abdominal muscles down towards the spine or down towards the floor and reaching long through the toe. So energy nice and long as you reach away from you and then pull it back up. Awesome. Bend that knee, switch to the other side. Left leg's going to step up, point the toe, anchor your arms, and away we go. Lifting and lowering at a pace that feels right to you this morning. Anchoring into your right foot so that foot is nice and firmly planted, abdominal muscles pulling down, energy reaching out through the toe nice and long. You're already halfway there. And time, nicely done. Bend both knees, hands behind the head, right back to those full body crunches. We pull the elbows and knees in towards each other, give a little squeeze, and then release it out. Think about pulling your abdominal muscles down towards the ground as you squeeze in, and then opening up and finding a little stretch through the front of the body as you release the knees and elbows away from each other. And then if you like working with the breath, you exhale, squeezing everything in and inhaling to release. And time, beautiful work. Okay, rock and roll your way up to a seated position. If you like, take a weight just to give you a little marker. You're gonna put it upright so that you can hop your legs over it. It's just to give you a little visual so you have some place for your eyes and your legs to work around. And now we're gonna sit in a nice tall position with legs wide, sort of out to the outer edges of the mat. Hands are gonna come behind the head today. You're gonna press your head into your hands into your head, and then you're gonna start to hop your leg over that way. One leg and then the other. So you're gonna take a little hop and a little hop. We got 1 minute on the clock. We're moving on to our next set. So away we go. Keep that nice tall posture. Really think about pressing your head into your hand into your head, elbows nice and wide. So we keep that nice upright posture, and we're just hopping those legs, crisscrossing over that weight, and then bringing it over to the other side. Nice, you guys, beautiful. "25 seconds left here. And time, nicely done. Okay, move your weight just out of the way. We're gonna take it into a side plank with a little hip dip. So you're gonna take a variation of side plank that works best for you. My recommendation is your 1 foot stepped in front, one step long, so you get that little bit of extra support with your leg, and you're just dipping your hip down and pushing it back up. Now, if that's no good for your wrists, you're gonna come down elbows and forearms. Hip dip is going to be just a little bit of a smaller range of motion, but you're still getting all of that work out of the side body, dropping the hip towards the earth and lowering it down. If you don't want that leg and you want a little bit more challenge, you're going to step it long, creating a little bit of a longer line of work. So you're going to pick the version that works best for you. You're already halfway there on this side. Ten seconds left. You got this. And time, nicely done. Lower your hip down and we're swinging it around, taking it right over to the other side. So you're gonna find the side plank position that works best for you. You might like to step that foot in front, other leg long, high plank with the top arm nice and high, or down on the elbows and shoulders, elbows and forearms. You know what I'm saying. You're gonna find the version that works best for your shoulders, for your wrists, for your legs, and for your side body. You're already halfway there. Nice work, you guys. Robbie, you're upside down. Your camera angle's upside down. I love it. She's working from the ceiling. 12 seconds left. Woo, and time. Lower yourself down back to your seated position, placing that weight in your center line so you have something to work with. And we're right back to those hip flexor flop, hip flexor hops. So hands behind the head. Press your head into your hand into your head. Hop your leg over that weight, step it back over and take it to the other side. Keeping and maintaining that nice tall posture. If this isn't working for you with the hands behind the head and you need a little bit more of an anchor, hands right down along the hips, press into your palms so you maintain that nice strong and tall lifted up sensation. But if it works to keep the hands behind the head, stay there and away you go. Pace that works best for you. "12 seconds left. You got this." And time. Nicely done. Okay, move that weight out of the way. And now we're back to that side plank. So find the variation that you like best. Leg in front, legs long, high plank, low plank, totally up to you. But we're dipping the hips down and lifting up away. So think about hip drop down, ribs pull up. So we want to find that nice long line through the side body. And then if it helps, if you like, you can take your hand towards your hip and then reach it up alongside your ear so you really find that nice big lift. But take any variation that you're feeling this morning. You're already halfway there. Ten seconds left. You got this. And time. Nicely done. Woo! Set that hip down. Shake out your arm, shake out your wrist, shake out your shoulder. Take it to the other side. Spin yourself around and away we go. Find the stance that feels best to you. Leg in front or leg long. Elbows and forearms or nice high arm. And then just dip that hip down. Pull the ribs up. You got it. Yep, and then if you like that nice arm reach, you can find that nice big side bend. Just take that arm with you as you lift the hips up. Reach that arm up alongside your ear. You're already halfway there. Nice, Robbie. Beautiful, Karen. That's awesome. Yes, girl. Woo! Man, you guys are amazing. Six seconds left. You got this. And time. Nicely done. Come into the tabletop for just a second. Shake it all out. Wiggle out your shoulders, wiggle out your hips, wiggle out your side body, and then take it just into a little child's pose. Kind of stretch it all out. Notice how your energy level is. We're done with that set. So now we're up to standing. So when you're ready, come on up, grab a nice heavy set of weights. All right, we're taking it into a squat with a little twist and an overhead reach. So a nice wide position of the legs, toes slightly turned out. Touch down to the ground, reach up to one side, bring it back to center, touch the ground, reach up and over to the other side. If the weights are too much, leave them off. If squatting down to the ground is not right for you this morning, leave that off. Just find a little dip in the knees and a little rotation. So really what we're shooting for is that nice sense of rotation and reach as we push those hands up towards the ceiling. So we're working a little bit into the obliques and the side body. Four seconds left. You got this. And time, nicely done. Switch to a lighter set of weights. It's gonna be straight out from the shoulders. So just make sure it's a weight that you can maintain. And we're gonna hold the weights straight out from the shoulders, just nice and strong. And then you're gonna start to march your knees, picking one knee up and then the other. See how stable you can keep your arms here. And try to drive those knees straight up to your elbows. So arms are straight out from the chest, a nice long line of energy out through the top of your head, keeping that nice tall posture. So we're not trying to bring the elbows down to the knees, but rather drive your knees up to your elbows. Beautiful, you guys, really nice. And time, nicely done. Lower your arms, give them a good shake. Stick with those lighter weights to start. See how it feels, and then you might opt to switch to a heavier weight. So we're gonna find a nice wide position of our legs, toes slightly turned out. Rainbow your arms up and overhead, touch over to one leg. Rainbow up and overhead, touch to the other side. So your knees are gonna bend, your feet might pivot a little bit. Rainbow the arms up and overhead and touch to one side. Nice big reach of the arms up and overhead. If the weight in the shoulders is too much, leave your weights off. You're already halfway there. And time, beautiful job. Step it in, switch back to your heavy weights, and we're repeating that set again. So we're finding that squatting position, toes slightly turned out. We're reaching down to the ground, reaching up with a little bit of a twist over to one side, touch down to the ground, reach up to the other side. Using the shoulders and the oblique muscles to find that side reach. Using the legs, the butt, hamstrings and quads to get that squat and then push yourself back up. $20 left. And time, beautiful job. Switch to your light weights again, or leave the weights off at this point if the weight's too much in the shoulders. We got 1 minute on the clock. Arms are straight out from the shoulders, and we're lifting one knee and then the other. Trying to drive your knee up towards your elbow, keeping that nice strong posture, strong, sturdy shoulders, and a little firmness in your center to help bring those knees up and maintain a little stability as you come onto that single leg. Nice, you guys, looking beautiful. You've got 13 seconds left. You got this. And time, beautiful. Lower those arms down. Give them a good shake. And they're back to that wide stance with the rainbow arms. So you're gonna reach them up and overhead, touch to one side, up and overhead, touch to the other side. So it's a little bit of a lunge. It's a little work through the side body and a little work through the shoulders. Five seconds left. You got this. And time. Nice work. Shake it all out. We're taking it back down to the ground. So back on our backside, let down and right into a figure four shape. Right leg is going to come across the left. Right hand to the belly, left hand behind the head. We've got 30 seconds on this side. Left shoulder is going to reach towards the right knee. Come in for a little squeeze and lower it back down. Take it at your pace. Ten seconds left with this crunching. All right, and now we're bringing it in for a stretch. So let your head touch down to the ground. Lift your left leg up, reach through, grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, hug it in for a little squeeze. Five seconds left in this stretch. And release, unwind, and take it to the other side. Left leg is going to come across the right. We're taking the left hand to the belly, right hand behind the head, right shoulders lifting towards the knee. So we're finding the abdominal muscles pulling down as the shoulder lifts. And then you're taking that at your pace. We've got about 30 seconds left here. Nope, I take that back, 20 seconds left. All right, now we're going to take it into that little stretch. So release your head, lift your right leg up, grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, hug it in for a little stretch, and just let your breath work for you here. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. And time, nicely done. Release that figure four shape. Step your feet back out to the outer edges of your mat. We're back to finish with windshield wipers. Dropping your knees side to side, just kind of soothing everything out. Now finding a little bit of stretch through the front of the hips, a little length through the side of the obliques. If it feels good, arms up in goalpost or cactus arms. And just to take a few more times side to side, just to find a little softness again and let your breath come back to a natural rhythm. Nice. Take one more little rock side to side. And then once you feel good about all that, pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze. We're going to rock and roll all the way up and then find your way into a standing position. So if you can take it in one maneuver, float yourself all the way up and then fold yourself over, reach towards your toes. Keep a generous bend in the backs of your legs. Take a nice big breath here. Awesome. When you're ready, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles and roll up nice and slow. Take your time. Take a couple of good shrugs of your shoulders. Give your belly a good pat because you guys work those abdominal muscles really hard today. Nice work. Grab your tennis ball if you're sticking around.